Welcome to a visual journey where elegance meets simplicity, a small space transformed through the harmonious blend of Japandi serenity and Italian charm. This is more than a design style. It's a philosophy of living with intention, where every stone, shadow, and scent has a purpose. The Japandi approach brings together the minimalist discipline of Japanese aesthetics and the cozy functionality of Scandinavian living. Now imagine layering that quiet elegance with the rustic warmth of an Italian garden, a fusion that feels both grounded and expressive. In this space, form and function are inseparable. A teak bench isn't just for sitting, it anchors the entire space with visual balance. A terracotta pot isn't simply a vessel, it holds centuries of Italian tradition. And in the Japandi spirit, less is truly more. We choose restraint, and through that, we achieve beauty. Sunlight filters through bamboo slats, casting gentle shadows across a gravel floor. There's intentional asymmetry, one side holds a low bonsai, the other, a single citrus tree in bloom. This push and pull between structure and organic growth is the essence of harmony. The garden isn't loud. It doesn't ask for attention. Instead, it rewards quiet observation. Look closely, and you'll find handcrafted textures, subtle shifts in material, and an unspoken dialogue between wood, stone, and plant life. In Italian design, we welcome warmth, sun-kissed terracotta, wrought iron detail, the scent of rosemary in the air. This softness complements the Japandi framework, offering soul without clutter, story without noise. A small space, when treated with care, can feel vast. It can evoke calm, contemplation, and even joy. The trick lies not in filling it, but in curating it, with proportion, with contrast, and with deep respect for nature. This section sets the foundation. It invites the viewer to let go of excess, to embrace the beauty of restraint, and to rediscover the emotional resonance that a garden, no matter how small, can hold. Before a single plant is chosen, before the first stone is set, layout is everything. In a small garden, space is sacred. Every corner must serve a purpose, and every path should feel intentional. This is where Japandi precision and Italian warmth come together. Start by visualizing your space in zones. Where will you sit, where will you walk, and where will nature breathe? Even in just a few square meters, we can carve out places to pause, paths to wander, and views to savor. Think asymmetrical balance, a curved gravel path that flows beside a structured wooden deck. Or a corner lounge framed by bamboo on one side and an olive tree on the other. Contrast creates character. Use materials to subtly divide areas. Gravel underfoot for a walking trail. Wooden planks to define seating. Moss or soft ground cover between stepping stones. Each texture serves both function and form, helping the space feel larger through variation. Consider the light. Where does the morning sun land? Where does shade settle at noon? Plan seating and greenery accordingly. Let sunlight guide your design. A bench that glows in the golden hour becomes an invitation to stay longer. Don't forget vertical space. Walls and fences become part of your layout. Trellises with flowering vines or herb planters can rise where ground space is scarce. This vertical layering adds depth without crowding. Zoning isn't just practical, it creates a rhythm. Move from gravel to tile to stone. From fragrant herbs to shady corners. From structured seating to untamed planting beds. This movement gives even the smallest garden a narrative arc. The goal is to make a small outdoor area feel like a living story. Each zone should speak softly but clearly. This is where you relax, this is where you reflect, this is where beauty grows. And by the end, the entire garden, though compact, will feel whole. At the heart of a Japandi garden with Italian flair is a reverence for natural materials. Stone, wood, terracotta, each one is selected not just for its look, but for its soul. These materials tell stories, weather with grace, and anchor the space with quiet strength. Start with the foundation. Crushed gravel or small river stones provide texture underfoot, giving a soft, grounding sound with each step. Floating stone pavers or rustic tile walkways guide movement and define zones, adding tactile rhythm to the layout. Wood brings warmth and balance. Teak, cedar, or reclaimed timber used in benches, decking, or privacy screens introduce organic grain and grounding tone. Japandi style prefers clean lines and simple forms, while Italian accents favor a touch of weathered charm. Let them coexist. Terracotta is your connector. In pots, borders, or even tiles, it carries the warmth of Mediterranean sun and the weight of timeless tradition. Contrast this with slate, concrete, or neutral pebbles for a layered interplay between rough and refined. Harmony lies in the junctions, where wood meets gravel, where stone edges into moss, where terracotta sits against bamboo. It's not about matching, but about conversation between materials. Each element contributes to the overall mood without shouting for attention. Lighting enhances these textures. As the sun lowers, wood glows golden, stone darkens with cool blues, and terracotta glimmers with soft reds. In the right light, even a simple gravel path becomes cinematic. Choose your angles, design with both the day and night in mind. Avoid over-polishing. Let imperfections speak. A chipped edge, a weathered board, a bit of moss creeping into a tile crack, these are not flaws. They're memory and life, essential to the soul of the garden. When materials work in harmony, the garden becomes more than a space. It becomes a feeling. Calm but complex, refined yet grounded. This section reminds us, simplicity isn't plain, it's purposeful. And when we choose each element with care, the space will speak volumes. In small space garden design, plant selection is where form meets soul. Each plant must serve multiple roles: beauty, function, and emotion, while working together in visual harmony. That's where layering becomes essential. We begin from the ground up. Soft moss, creeping thyme, or ornamental grasses form the base layer, close to the earth, grounding the space in texture and subtle movement. These low-level greens create a natural canvas for everything above. Next, we build with mid-height plants: rosemary, lavender, and Japanese forest grass. These provide both aroma and visual interest. Their shifting textures and scents bring life to the garden as the breeze moves through. Each plant is placed not randomly, but with purpose, where it can thrive, and where it adds balance. The upper layer introduces structure. Here, we use olive trees, citrus trees, or even a delicate Japanese maple. Their form defines the space, casting shadows, framing views, and giving the garden a sense of enclosure without feeling boxed in. Balance is key. Where Japandi design favors restraint and minimalism, Italian gardens embrace natural abundance. So the trick is in the edit. Layer generously, but select wisely. Don't overcrowd, instead, highlight contrast. Feather-light grasses beside rough bark, tall silhouettes near soft mounds. Don't forget vertical opportunities. Climbing jasmine or flowering vines trained along a bamboo screen or wooden trellis can soften walls and add fragrance. This draws the eye upward, making small spaces feel more expansive. A layered plant palette creates more than just beauty; it introduces movement, scent, and a changing seasonal narrative. As sunlight filters through leaves and shadows dance across gravel, the space feels alive, even in stillness. When done well, plant layering evokes a quiet richness. It doesn't feel forced, it feels discovered, like a natural rhythm that emerged with time. In a Japandi garden touched by Italian charm, this approach gives the space breath, poetry, and grounded grace. Furniture in a small garden isn't just about where you sit, it's about how you live in the space. In Japandi design, every object must have purpose. And when we weave in Italian flair, that purpose comes with character and soul. Begin with the essentials. A low-profile bench in natural wood, placed deliberately against gravel or stone. Add a linen cushion in a neutral tone. This is where rest begins, quiet, minimal, and anchored. Now introduce contrast. A wrought iron bistro set brings a touch of rustic charm. Weathered surfaces, curved lines, and a small round table offer both a functional resting place and visual softness. It's a nod to Italian tradition, without overpowering the space. In small areas, every piece must multitask. Choose a coffee table with hidden storage or a bench with built-in compartments for tools or textiles. These practical features keep the garden free of clutter while preserving visual serenity. Functional decor is just as powerful. Think of a ceramic lantern, softly glowing as the evening sets in. Or a bamboo ladder, repurposed as a storage rack or plant stand. These are not decorations for decoration's sake, they are quiet, useful, and deeply intentional. Materials matter. Opt for raw textures, aged wood, weathered metal, hand-thrown ceramics. Let time show through. Imperfection isn't a flaw, it's a design language. When light strikes a worn tabletop or dances across a woven poof, the garden breathes with history. Keep the palette simple, the lines clean, and the spacing generous. Don't be afraid of empty space, it invites calm. Let each object have breathing room. In Japandi design, this negative space is as meaningful as the furniture itself. Together, these elements create a stage for daily rituals, sipping tea, reading, meditating, sharing. Even in the smallest garden, thoughtful furniture and decor turn a simple corner into a sanctuary of presence. Lighting is the soul of atmosphere. It shapes how we feel in a space, especially in a garden meant for calm, reflection, and slow living. In Japandi Italian fusion, lighting is never loud. It whispers, it glows, and it breathes life into materials after the sun has set. Start with natural light. Observe how it moves through the space, how morning light brushes stone, how evening sun filters through olive leaves, how shadows dance on gravel paths. A well-placed bench or a cluster of planters can transform under changing sunlight alone. As day fades, the lighting becomes more deliberate. String lights overhead cast a soft canopy of gold, warm, inviting, and effortlessly Mediterranean. Paired with paper lanterns or rattan shades, they add intimacy without excess. Ground lighting plays its own quiet role. Recessed lights along stone steps or hidden LEDs beneath benches create soft pools of illumination. These indirect sources define the garden's form while preserving its mystery. Lanterns are more than decor, they're emotional anchors. Choose handmade ceramic or frosted glass, letting the glow diffuse naturally. Scatter them thoughtfully, beside a path, beneath a tree, or on a low table. Light placement should feel like poetry, not engineering. Don't overlook candlelight. A flickering flame in a terracotta holder, nestled among herbs or reflected on a water surface, adds warmth that no bulb can replicate. It brings a primal comfort, fragile, quiet, and deeply grounding. Color temperature matters. Stick to warm whites and amber tones. Avoid harsh spotlights or cool LEDs. Let the lighting mimic sunset, not daylight. In a Japandi space, the night should feel like an extension of dusk, soft, slow, and cinematic. With the right lighting, a small garden becomes an evening sanctuary. It slows time. It softens the noise of the world. And with every shadow and shimmer, it reminds us that beauty isn't just what we see, it's what we feel when we're surrounded by light and stillness. A garden becomes truly immersive when it touches more than just the eyes. The sound of water, the scent of herbs, the feel of textured stone under your fingertips, these are the details that make a small space unforgettable. Start with water. A simple basin of stone, a rain chain, or a terracotta fountain, these aren't grand statements, but quiet companions. The sound of trickling water adds rhythm to the space, gently dissolving the edges of silence. It slows the breath. It invites stillness. Let the sound of rustling grasses accompany it. Ornamental bamboo or tall rosemary sways in the wind, catching sunlight and casting shadows in motion. Movement adds life. Even when the garden is empty, it doesn't feel still. It feels alive. Scent is equally powerful. Plant with fragrance in mind. Lavender, thyme, basil, and citrus, each one releases its essence when touched, warmed, or brushed by a breeze. As you walk through the garden, each step becomes a sensory invitation. Texture brings everything closer. Rough stone beside soft moss. Woven seating next to smooth ceramic. Raked gravel underfoot. These contrasts are felt more than seen, grounding us in the physical present. Even warmth and coolness become tools. Let the sun heat a stone bench for a comforting seat. Place your water features where early light can glisten or evening chill can create subtle steam. Use the natural temperatures of your materials to heighten the moment. These small touches, the whisper of leaves, the warmth of sunlit wood, the scent of rosemary at dusk, are what stay with us. They're not decoration, they're emotion. A sensory garden doesn't shout, it listens, and it gently speaks back. This section reminds us, in a small space, intimacy is the goal. By appealing to the senses, softly, intentionally, we create more than beauty. We create a feeling. One that lingers long after we've stepped outside the garden gates. Styling is the final layer, the brushstroke that makes the garden personal. It's not about perfection, but presence. The goal is to express warmth, intention, and a sense of who you are, using objects that hold quiet meaning. Start with what you love. A ceramic cup you use every morning, a linen cloth passed down in the family, a stone you picked up on a walk. Let these objects become part of the garden story. Display them with care, not clutter, as if every item was chosen with calm. Think in textures and tones. Linen, wood, ceramic, and glass, these materials age gracefully and feel at home in nature. Mix smooth with rough, matte with light reflecting surfaces. Japandi style doesn't avoid contrast, it uses it to spark quiet tension. Use everyday moments as styling cues. A breakfast scene outdoors with a sprig of rosemary. A book left open on a bench. A tray with figs and cheese beside a candle. These are more than photos, they are living invitations to pause. Layer with seasonal touches. In spring, fresh herbs in ceramic jars. In summer, a linen throw for evening warmth. In autumn, dried flowers hanging from a pergola beam. This not only honors time's passing, it makes the space feel alive and evolving. Keep styling intentional. A single framed photo or a small sculpture can tell a deeper story than shelves of decor. Leave space around each item. Let light and shadow shape them throughout the day. In Japandi gardens, stillness is part of the composition. And always include something tactile. A blanket you want to touch. A surface that calls to be leaned on. A cushion that looks better because it's slightly used. Comfort and visual honesty go hand in hand. In the end, final touches are not really the end, they're the beginning of your daily rhythm in the space. The garden becomes more than design, it becomes lifestyle. A ritual. A reflection of your values, told through detail, restraint, and care.